Hello, and how are you? Welcome to my session on gender mainstreaming significance. If you have been following me, I've been doing series of lectures and lessons on gender, and today I'm going to focus more on gender mainstreaming by looking at the aspect of why is it important. If you're new here, my name is Wendy Barawa, and this is a channel where we focus on lectures, lessons, and key interviews pertaining healthcare. If this is your area of interest, kindly don't forget to give us a subscription or click on the subscribe button, comment, and also give us some inputs or feedback on how our lectures have been or our channel has been in terms of helping you grow both as a healthcare worker and someone who is seeking more knowledge. So let's go in and see how is it significant that we do gender mainstream or we participate in strategizing to do gender mainstreaming in our different levels. So first and foremost, before appreciating the importance of gender mainstreaming, it's key to know there are different entry levels for gender mainstreaming or portal points where one can do gender mainstreaming or can mainstream aspects of gender issues pertaining to men and women. So we have the beginning level that we talk about institutional level. Here we are told the gender mainstreaming happening at institutional level depends largely on the commitment of the leadership, available clear policies, and the availability of human and financial resources. Understand that gender mainstreaming is whereby we incorporate or integrate the gender perspective in our policies, planning, designing, implementation, and even monitoring and evaluation of not only project but also policies. And for this, at any institution levels where we are integrating gender perspective, it's key to know that majority of this impact will be based on the leadership that is in place, the policies that have been passed or approved, and even the resources that are at hand, be it human or also financial. And the other bit are the policies where we look at the legislation level. So at the legislation level, we are looking at a point where we have policymakers, legislatures, government offices or officials that are able to implement and formulate policies that extend into project implementation or legal rights that can be practiced in a country. So where we want to have an existence of gender mainstreamed project or budgets, then we can do that at policy level or legislation levels. And then the other aspect is program and project level. At this level, it's said to be one of the most common approach to gender mainstreaming or the most common level of gender mainstreaming. And this is where we are targeting a project. We are looking at implementing it and ensuring that it meets the gender needs and demands that are in our communities or societies. So the key entry points are three, and that is institutional level, policy level, and the program or project levels. So based on what you're working at that particular time, then you can consider it to be a gender or to be a project level, institution level, or legislation level. However, at the end of the day, the main goal is to ensure that gender perspective concerning men and women are both included in the aspect of policy implementations, monitoring and evaluation, the planning and design, and even the aspect of startups and prototyping of all these initiatives or interventions. And so let's now see how important is it that gender mainstreaming should exist or should be implemented in our day-to-day activities. Number one, gender mainstreaming is a strategy that helps us achieve gender equality. So what does gender mainstreaming do under gender equality? Number one, it gives equal opportunities to men and women by transforming our systemic inequalities, be it in legislation, in policies, in programs, so that we are able to have equal and just structures. So for instance, with good equal opportunities or availability of this equal opportunity, we can have equal participation at decision level or a decision making level for both men and women. And so with this, it allows that each gender can have their views and opinions listened into and considered in the final decisions that are made. And the second advantage or importance of gender mainstreaming is that it combats discrimination. Remember, this target of gender mainstreaming is to ensure that both genders have equal chances in terms of the designing, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation of projects, management, or even policies. So with discrimination, it means genders are discriminated or looked down upon based on the fact that they belong to a particular gender. Now, to eliminate this, it means that gender differences are able to be made structurally visible because gender mainstreaming can assist us to identify and understand differential roles, relations, resources, benefits, and even constraints, needs, and interests that are affecting men and women in different social contexts. For example, there was a context given of credit facilities, where it's a project where a project had gone to the community and they wanted to promote farming by giving credit loans to men so that they can buy farming equipment and tools that can be used in the farming to increase on production. However, the project was not really gender focused because it did not evaluate to know what are the gender roles in that community. And for so now it ended to be whereby the production did not increase. The project was not fruitful enough because they mistook financial credits to more like participants to be coming from the male gender as opposed to the women. They forgot that it is the women who till the lands, who prepare the land, and actually use these tools that were providing loans for the men to take. So to combat discrimination, it is key that we evaluate the differences that are visible at different levels in the genders and putting into place the benefits, resources, needs, and interests of both genders that are actually impactful in their lives. And if it's a project, then you mainstream it to ensure that you meet the particular interest and constraints and even the benefits that the different genders might get out of the different projects. And the third importance is gender mainstreaming enables us to have prioritization of plans. And this is allowing us to apply gender perspective to the objectives and priorities at the national strategic planning. Every country has a strategic plan, which could be short term or long term. And now, when you're looking at the strategic plans, it's important that the strategic plans are also gender mainstreamed. Now, with this in mind, it's being said that when it comes to mainstreaming of the strategic plan, we need to include both men and women concerns and experiences at designing level, implementation levels, evaluation of the policies, and also the program. It is gender bias to assume what men and women may be experiencing. It is key that you stream and provide a chance that each of them can provide an opinion, an idea, or a thought pertaining to what they think about their experiences. And the other advantage is on program efficiency, that gender mainstreaming promotes program efficiencies and effectiveness based on the targeted interventions that are being implemented in the community. So different communities have different needs, different communities have different priorities, and so when we gender mainstream, we are able to harness on the different targets interventions that can be given to a community, and as a result, you can ensure that it is effectively and efficiently meeting the needs of the given communities. The other bit is that it helps to end gender blindness, a practice that ignores the differences between genders. And because of this, it ensures that because there is elimination of the gender blindness, the needs and rights of both gender gets to be met and addressed. So you can see the key three parts that are key for gender mainstreaming. That is, that it enables prioritization of planning at the national strategic planning. It ensures program efficiency for targeted interventions, and it also ensures that we end gender blindness. As a result, we are able to input or take into consideration both needs and rights of both genders in the different targets. And so key other importance of gender mainstreaming is improvement of quality of life. Gender mainstreaming looks at the experiences, it looks at the knowledge, it looks at the interest of both men and women, and it uses this to work together to improve their lives. And by improving their lives, we look at, for example, economic empowerment, financial empowerment, social empowerment of both men and women, and harnessing all these empowerment levels, then we are able to ensure that the quality of life for both men and women has been comprehensively or effectively been evaluated and worked on. And the other bit is that gender mainstreaming leads to holistic development. With holistic development, we can look at this based on the legislative angle or political will, that with well gender mainstreamed approaches, there is clear political will, and this can lead to allocation of adequate resources that could either be human or financial resources that can adequately promote development in a given country. And with good political will, there is adequate accountability for the monitoring of progress of this project and development initiative in a community or even in a country. So the gender mainstreaming advantages could vary all the way from holistic development, quality of life, project effectiveness, all the way to eliminating discrimination, eliminating gender blindness, and so on. And so that was a summary approach to what are the different significance and importance of gender mainstreaming. And you could see spanning from holistic development to improvement of quality of life. So if this was a class that you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, share this lecture with your networks, comment on what is your favorite part, and also like our video. Thank you so much and see you in our next class.